Hello and welcome back to Awakening to Your Story TV, the place to learn, get inspired, and be supported with heart-centered ideas to improve your life. I'm your host, heart and self-love enthusiast, Alicia Hartzell. Now I want to talk to you today about this idea that you're seen. The divine source energy of love within you can't help but see you, validate your existence, and share in your worthiness. Now, you can use whatever language feels good to you. Source, God, Holy Spirit, divinity, soul, love, whatever feels right. When you are in alignment with that source within you, you find a vantage point of divine consciousness. You find yourself settling into a place of knowing and of peace within your story. Your point of reference is that of a creator. You are the author of your story, the builder of your experiences, and the main character who gets to live it all into reality. As you create moment by moment and thought by thought, your point of reference is so very powerful. Just imagine it. Your point of reference align with divine source energy within you. You are so seen, valued, and worthy. There's nothing holding you back from really writing the story that you want to, that's thrilling and wonderful, and that is all that you desire. As the author and main character, you get to choose how you experience the world around you. You may not get to choose all of the situations that you find yourself in, but you always get to choose who you are in them and how you feel as they unfold. Your worth, value, and ability to be seen has nothing to do with anyone else. It is fundamental to you, divinely woven right into the fabric of your being. But what if you find that your point of reference is off? What if you're focused so much on other people that you lose sight of your truth? With every thought, you are choosing your point of reference, who and how you show up, and how you feel. If you feel unseen, unvaluable, or unworthy in your life, you have been focusing in the wrong places. You have started to look at your story from someone else's vantage point or perspective, or from the sidelines of your own life, or maybe even from the outside of your truth. When someone else is your vantage point or your reference, and they aren't seeing you in the way that feels good to you, those negative feelings really fog up your truth. And it's okay, it really is, if you find yourself on the sidelines of your life or your story, or you feel unseen, questioning your value. There's always opportunity and power in every moment that you're creating. But I don't want you to get stuck believing these thoughts that are running through your head. I would rather you use them to realign with your truth. Here are a few typical thoughts that you might find sneaking in if your fundamental truth of being seen, valued, and worthy have gotten fogged up with limitation. I feel invisible. It feels like I'm always being ignored. It feels like people look straight through me and don't even care. I feel like a ghost in someone else's story. No one cares if I'm even here. Now, none of these thoughts are going to feel good when you think them. It will never, ever feel good to think in resistance to your truth. It's important to understand that thoughts like these, they're actually separate from who you are. Now, I get it. You may think them and they may feel super real to you in every moment, but they do not actually define you, and they are not essential to who you are. Thoughts like these, they try to limit your truth. They try to make you feel smaller and less than how you were really designed to feel and be in your life. And it's for this reason that I like to call them out for what they are: limiting beliefs. Now, beliefs are a repetitive pattern of thinking that creates focus and momentum that lead you to wherever you are in your life. It's important to know that there are also beliefs aligned with your truth, and these are the ones that we're going to work on building up for you today. They feel really supportive and fortifying as you think them, and when you focus on them, you get that feeling of enthusiasm and excitement about your life, and it feels like you're plugged right into that source energy where all things are possible. Okay, now, there are many ways that you can pick up limiting beliefs. People with limiting beliefs of their own, they also try to hand them down to you. They try to convince you that you should have your reality be one way according to their own limitation. And often in our uncertainty, we take it as truth. It can also happen when you have a situation that comes in your life that has a lot of negative energy behind it. It can feel like you have to adopt it. It also happens when there's a repetitive situation that's negative. It can be super easy to adopt a limiting belief then. Now, no matter how you pick up the limiting belief, they are always going to contradict your essential truth, and they will never feel good as you think them. So, what if you're tired of thinking thoughts that feel bad, and you'd rather feel thoughts that feel better? Well, that is totally within your power. That's the great thing about belief, because they are simply thoughts that you think over and over and over again. You have the power to change them. Now, I like to call this process repatterning. And there are endless ways to go about repatterning your thoughts. And none of them are right or wrong. But it's important to remember that as it's happening, you are doing it one thought and one feeling at a time. Your first job is to notice the negative thought that is causing you that discomfort. It is an indicator that you are out of alignment with your truth. Call it out so that it no longer has the power to run on repeat in the background of your thinking. As you bring your conscious awareness to that thought, your next job is to stop believing what it's telling you. That's right, you can stop believing what it's telling you. When you do this, it slows down that momentum, energy, and emotion that it's been carrying with it. You were never meant to believe it anyway. You were meant to use it to feel your way back to your truth. Once you have that limiting belief isolated, and you can really see it for what it is, then you can start making room for new ideas to emerge. This is where you get to redirect your thoughts and feel your way back into your truth. So let's say that you have a thought that tells you that you are invisible and that you don't matter at all. Well, what if you were to take the limiting beliefs off of that? Just strip it from the limitation. What would you have then? You might find a thought that says something like, I am seen and I matter. Now, I know that can feel like a huge jump from one to the other, but remember, now you know that you don't have to believe every thought that runs through your mind. You have the power, and you are the creator. So just start to get curious about your thoughts. Play with them, and remember, you can reach for any kind of thought that you want. As you get curious, you may find a thought like, the divine source energy of love within me can't help but see me, validate my existence, and share in my worthiness. A thought like that might be easier. That thought may lead you to a thought where your point of reference is that of a creator. You are the creator. You are the author of your story and the builder of your experiences. And you are the main character, living it into a reality. It's better, right? Now, a next logical thought might be, as the author of my story, I see, I am curious about, and I appreciate all of the many parts of me that make up the unique person that I am. Think about that, what that would feel like. Just keep nudging your focus towards your truth, calling each thought out as you go. Questioning, is this thought aligned with my truth, or is it one that is limiting me? This is why it's so valuable not to react, repress, or rebel from the limiting beliefs, but rather use them. When you stop taking direction from them and you get curious instead, you allow them to help you create language for your truth. From this place, you'll find yourself having a very different kind of experience. So let's call out some of those new patterns of thinking together. The divine source energy of love within me can't help but see me, validate my existence, and share in my worthiness. My point of reference is that of creator, and I am the author of my story, the builder of my experience, and the main character living it all into reality. I am seen, valued, and worthy just as I am. As the author of my story, I see, am curious about, and appreciate all the parts that make me the unique person that I am. I love and appreciate this life and this story that I get to live and write one thought and one feeling at a time. Thoughts like these are way more aligned with your truth. And there's a beautiful sense of freedom that comes with truth. So get curious about your thoughts and about your feelings. Take a second or third look to make sure they're really the ones that you want to be having. And remember, it all changes one thought and one feeling at a time. Okay, so now let's talk about some tools that will help you really plug into your truth. Intention setting has two really powerful jobs in your life. The first job is to consciously claim what it is you want. That second job is to act as a check-in point for your thoughts. So, I'm going to give you one. I'm going to offer you one that is really good when you're working on repatterning. But I want you to get curious and come up with one that feels good to you for the moment you're experiencing. Start your day off with it and return to it as many times as you need to. So I recommend writing it out and putting it somewhere where you can see it often or you can easily get to it. Okay, here's one. My intention is to watch my thoughts with compassion and to reach for thoughts throughout my day that feel good to me. Good, right? Okay, another really important thing that helps you repattern is giving yourself permission. Self-permission can feel like you're opening a door that was once closed to you. It also helps you claim the power to do or not do what it is your heart really desires. So here's one that you can use for this topic, but I challenge you, please go find one that really fits for where you are. Okay, I give myself permission to own my point of reference as author and main character of my story. A creator, a builder, I get to experience. I give myself permission to feel my worthiness and my value as the unique being that I am. Feels pretty good, right? Okay, now an additional tool that I love is to really flood yourself with outside sources that feel very true to this new path of thinking. Because an idle mind is always going to lead itself back to what it knows. So if you flood it, then it really helps you fortify that. So keep your mind moving in the directions of those new thoughts and new truths and new feelings that you're trying to work towards. Listen to podcasts of people who are doing it already. Watch videos of people who inspire you to get into that place of thinking. You can even watch a movie that invokes those feelings that you're wanting to create ownership for. Now, my favorite and actually the easiest tool is to write out those truths and how you want to feel as many times as you can. That's right, write them out as many times as you can. And then go back and reread them. And if you can, reread them out loud to yourself. When you write things down, it helps your brain prioritize what it is you want it to focus on. Reading activates your mind in a similar way, but it also sets your imagination into action. So, prioritize and set your imagination into action about your truth. You can also tell an inner circle friend about these truths that you're moving towards. That way, when they're starting to unfold in your life, you have someone to celebrate with. Remember, repatterning is all about changing your focus to support those new thoughts. And it all happens one thought and feeling at a time. So watch your thoughts as they come in and choose the ones that incrementally feel better to you. These kind of micro adjustments give you your power back. Okay, wherever you're finding this video, I'm also going to link some of my previous episodes from Awakening to Your Story TV that might help you on this topic. There's also going to be a realigning and repatterning video that's going to go hand in hand with this episode that will really help you. Now, if you enjoy a more hands-on approach to learning, you can always head over to awakeningtoyourstory.com and get the Awakening to Your Story book, starter kit, or handbook. Remember, you are seen, you are worthy, and you are valuable just as you are. So until next time, know that I am holding a place of love for you, where your value, worth, it's all there and undeniable. For more support, information, and inspiration, Join me at awakeningtoyourstory.com.